Well, I suppose it's nice enough to come outside for a bit, but oh, it's up. It's up. It's not come out too bad. It's not the colour that I wanted, but it looks all right. It actually looks really, really tall, but it is on a 2-foot wall here, so that's not bad. I've got to put some steps here, and then I've managed to get all of that in there. All of that, quite literally, all of this was in my house, except for the cement mixer, and that's gone in here too. So all of this is now in the shed, which is good. The shed locks up. It's relatively dry. It hasn't had much of a challenge yet because I've had a couple of nice days, but you know, it's not going to be horrifically damp. I wouldn't recommend anybody buying one of these because it took me 7 hours to put up. But other than that, you know, it's the age old, you get what you pay for. I didn't pay a lot for the shed, so it is cheap. The plan is to put some steps coming around there because this has got this to be done. Still got to do more slabbing. I've got to finish that end over there. But one of the main things, ta-da, still needs a lot of tidying up. But look, all of the tools have gone. That one's broken, so that needs to go. That stepladder actually lives in here. That's just stuff to tidy up. And then this is all the cardboard that the shed came in. But yes, I've almost completely reclaimed the dining room. But then that also means that I have now got rid of a load of the toolboxes that were in here. So I've got a channel up there again. Still some stuff to sort out, but you know, we're getting there. And then in the conservatory, this hasn't changed any, other than I've got a couple more stuff in a couple of boxes. But in the conservatory, you can actually see the floor again. That was just power tools. That was just garden power tools in there. So that's taken care of that. I've got a lot more room now. So most of the stuff from in that room can now come out to here, out of the way. I can also put some stuff in the dining room, sort through all the junk, and then I can finally start clearing this room, which is great. You know, I always said that I had two things to do. One was put a shed up. The other one was put the motorbike back together. Motorbike's back together, but it's not road legal yet because I've got an oxygen sensor issue. I've got to wait for parts for that. And that is, that's my view now out of the window. Yeah. It's weird because they measure the shed by the eaves, and this thing only has like 1/4 of an inch eaves all the way around. So it is actually like 4 foot by 7 foot inside, which is beautiful. But yes, now I can start tidying up a little better. Still got a bag of cement in here. I've put all the tools that I'm using for out there, where I'm doing all the slabbing and that's all at the front of the shed, so I can easily get to it. But yeah, I can actually move all the way over to here now, which is fantastic. I can actually get at the plants to water them properly. And eventually, yeah, they like to fall over. They've grown out of their pots a bit. But yeah, I can almost get all the way through. I mean, I've got to step over the paint, but I can almost get all the way through from one room to the next. So the shed has made a massive difference because now I can start organising stuff better in here, and then I can start getting into that and clearing that away. Because the weather's going to be good for this week, I think, which means I can get out there, do a little bit more of the slab work and the edging and concreting and stuff. But once that weather turns, I'm not going to be able to get out there to do anything. So I need to be able to get at stuff in here. So the shed was very much a priority. And it is up. And my camera is dirty, that's why it flares. But yeah, it is up. It is, well, it was supposed to be light grey, but turns out it isn't. And it's not the brown that I thought I was getting, but it works. It's not as garish as I was worried about. Yeah, still waiting to do pressure washing, but that's once all these slabs down here are down. Yesterday where I was building the shed, that patch of mud down there just kept clagging on my shoes and it was terrible. it's been bolted to the ground as well, so it isn't going to move. My only concern, if I've got to be honest, is the roof. And that's only because the screws were only like, maybe 20 mil. So I might end up changing a couple of those. But again, I wouldn't recommend you buy one of those sheds because it took me, I read the reviews and it was like, oh, it'll take 5 hours. And I'm like, I can beat that. I've done flat pack. And it took me 7, just because if you put one thing wrong somewhere, you then have to redo a whole section. The door alone took me an hour because the instructions weren't very clear. And it was like, yep, this bit goes there, but this bit goes there, and this bit goes there. And then once you've done that, you then realise that the centre panel is the wrong way up. So you then have to disconnect everything in order to get the bracing up. And even then, the door didn't sit quite fully square. But it was just a pig. And thankfully, unless the site owners come along and say, you've got to move it, it doesn't have to go anywhere. The plan is for the back end of it, I've got a fir tree growing that I'm going to dig out and put in a pot. That's going to go in the corner. And then I'm going to have some like climbing hydrangeas up the back or something just to hide it, because you can't see it if you're coming from that angle. You can't see it because of that hedge there. It's only when you're coming down that road that you can kind of see it. And then I'm just going to put stuff that side of it to hide it. So, yeah, I have created space again. I have got carpet back. It's filthy, dirty, needs a vacuum and everything, but I can now start sorting again, which is something that I was kind of stuck at because I didn't have anywhere. Once I've sorted stuff out, I didn't have anywhere to put it once I'd sorted it. So now, at least, I've got a bit of room to work. I can start moving stuff around and getting it organised. So, yeah, I am very happy. I ache because, as I say, it's a full day's work to put one of those up. But it's up. And I'm thinking I might put something on this wall here just because it looks a bit boring from where I'm doing the washing up. So I might do something there, but I'm not sure. But yeah, so the next thing to do outside is some steps and the ramp, and then I've got to do the ramp down that end as well. And then it's pretty much good to go until next year, where I've got another couple of walls to build down further down and things like that. So we're making good progress, and I'm very happy. I might not sound it, but I am extremely happy. I don't sound it because I'm tired. But yeah, no, that has made a world of difference to me. It's given me half my house back. Well, all right, maybe a third of my house back. But the fact that the entirety of the crap that was out there was in this house is not good. So, yep, there we go. I'll leave you there. The shed is up. It is full of stuff. All the stuff is now, all the stuff that needs to go in the shed is now out of the house. So, there we are. Right, speak to you later. Ta-da.